Okay, today we're going to do a review of a Sony Handycam, model number DCR-DVD610. I'm doing this handheld, so pardon all the jitters. Maybe in post I can stabilize it. This is a new camera to me by about 3 months. I've purchased it at my local ham swap and I've never used it. I've charged up the batteries, make sure the batteries were good. I turned the camera on just to make sure it powered up, and I went through the menus to set it up, and that's all I've done. So today, you and I will get to experience it for the first time to see how it works. This camera, as you see right there, writes on DVD rewritables, the 1.2 gig, or you could on standard one-time only record, and it'll finalize the disc to allow you to play it on your DVD player. Now this camera is a hybrid, and by that not only does it write to DVD but also memory card, and that's that Sony's Pro Card thing. I don't have one in my collection, so I don't have one in the camera to test. This camera can write on both the card as well as the DVD. The owner's manual says you could stick a 512 megabyte to 8 gig, so I will order me an 8 gig. Today's review, I'm up in the El Dorado National Forest in a place called Pai Valley. This place has a lot of memories for me. I've been coming here all my life. My dad's been coming here all his life, and his mom been coming here all her life. So definitely deep-rooted family memories here. A lot of great times. The place has changed, in my opinion, for the bad. City folk came and cityfied it. Before, you could come out here to the campgrounds, which was dirt, and call any of them a campground. Now, they put in campground structures, parking, restrooms, running water. I could go along with the restrooms. And they even charge $22 a car a night. Back in the day, no such thing. You camped wherever you find a spot and you call that home. Anyway, back to the camera in general. 40 optical zoom, has some manual and automatic controls. The good, the bad. Yeah, you can control the shutter speed to some degree, but you can't go in there and say I want it at 125, 200, anything like that. It's automatic, or you could tell it to do slow shutter, which drops it down to 1/60th of a second. The good, the camera has night shot, super night shot, and I think color night shot. The eyepiece here, telescopes. And we have diopter view adjustment right here on the side. You can, according to the manual, pop this off somehow and clean it. Oops, I gotta remember to keep one eye on this camera and what I'm doing. Good, the batteries, you can put on different size batteries, big fat meaty ones. It's great that it's not in a container, in a holder. I hate cameras that force you to just that battery. I believe the eyepiece might be black and white, I don't know. Camera came out in about 2010 and sold for $580. I don't mean to keep bouncing around, I'm not fluid because I don't have my cheat sheets and I'm just doing everything off the cuff here. It sports stereo microphones on top. The owner's manual says that it has a hot shoe here by popping this cover off. Of course, the cover they show is not so large, where this one's, you know, almost full body. They're showing a small one. So when I get home, I'll have to pop that off, or try to pop that off, and see if I could either muck it up or find a hidden jewel. The screen, LCD screen, does your typical swivel selfie kind of thing. On the inside compartment here, besides the card slot, we have speaker, we have USB, we have quick access to play, and our display battery information. On the front, 30mm threads. I have a aftermarket hood on. Up underneath here, we have the infrared. We have the infrared sensor, and underneath this panel, we have cables to plug it into your TV. That plugs in, that has RCA and S-video all fed on one cable that branches out. Up on the top here, we have slider for open up the DVD door. Up underneath here, a actual hard switch to open up the shutter manually. Over here we have power charge slot. Up top we have the rocker switch for zoom in, zoom out. Switch here for taking pictures. And on the back we have the rocker switch with the safety switch in it to power it on, off, and then select the mode. For mode selection, you just simply rock it, and by rocking it, it'll toggle it from video to still photo. Kind of cool. And you have idiot lights down here which tells you what you're doing, what you're on. Has your button here to start and stop. On the screen is a touch screen. Yuck. You also have the start stop here, zoom in, zoom out, and your menu button. One other thing I found while I was trying to set up for this shoot, when I turned it on, I was going to try to shoot video of a turtle I found in the river. I'll encompass that from the video camera that I'm using. I did not, unfortunately, get it on this camera because an issue I ran into was the picture was overblown. It was hot, and I could not figure out why. Everything was set proper. Well, there's a switch I just found right here. This switch toggles it between super, night shot, and off. So, go figure. They made two other versions of this, this being in the bottom range. They made a 710 and an 810. The 810 has built-in 8 gig memory. I don't know enough about the other cameras, just what I read in the owner's manual briefly on my cell phone. However, that camera does not do 40x. I think it's like 25x, 30x, something like that. No other real extra features that camera offers. No microphone jack, no headphone jack. According to the manual, with that one, with the 810, you're able to record video and still pictures on either media, the card or the disc. This one, I guess it's one or the other. I don't know. The camera records in a AVI format. This one records in stereo. The other model is a 5:1. Again, to me, I think the 40x optical outweighs what the other one has. This camera does also have steady shot. I think they called it super steady shot. It sports a Carl Zeiss lens, 40x optical, and 2000 digital. But of course, we all know digital sucks and don't really use them. So I've got the camera set up now on tripod, overlooking the river here. Let me go ahead and turn this on. And so there we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and switch over to that camera and we'll do some test video. All right, let's go spin the day. This old bridge here has been here forever and a day. And as you can see, they've come in and put new timber up on the sides from the original metal girders on the side. As a child, I remember coming across this bridge, potholes and all, and it was always a wonder that it stayed up. Well, over time, probably 30 years ago, they came in and put this new bridge in. Okay, so I moved away from Pipe-Eye. There was way too many people there and just did not make it enjoyable. So now I'm off-road, going up to a place called Four Corners and Sopiago Creek. But along the way, figured I'd stop and shoot the camera. I haven't been off-road up in this section in 20 some odd years. So let's see how much this has changed. Anyway, I'm hand holding the camera, test the steady shot and all that stuff. Right now there's a breeze going. I'm not sure if the microphone's picking that up, but that'll also be a great test. I checked my menus. The camera is set to 40x optical, digital zoom is off. So all I could say is that looked crappy, but hey, who knows. Anyway, so I'm pointed at this tree. I thought it was kind of cool. I'm going to use that as a test subject for steady shot. So let's see how it does. So far, not too terribly bad. Let's get a little tighter. There we can see a little shakiness. And look at that, the video starts to break down. I can't really see the display well enough to see exactly where my zoom's at. But look at that. You can see all that chromatic abrasion. And for those who don't know, chromatic abrasion is the purple fringing that you see there on the trees and the edges of the branches and leaves. And basically, purple fringing is caused by not having good enough filter chemical sprayed on the lens. You can control it by turning down the gain. If the video or the picture brightness is too bright, you can try turning your ISO down, your aperture down, and your shutter up. Of course, all that's going to be at a price to your picture. Things will go dark. But another thing is, don't zoom in. Walk up on it and see what happens. So speaking of walking, let's do just that. I've got the camera zoomed all the way in, wide shot, and got to keep one eye on the lens and the other where you're walking. As you can see on the ground, a lot of stuff there to trip on. A lot of stuff. You always want to wear good shoes when you're off the beaten path. You don't want nothing to come up through your shoe into your foot. I've had that happen to me many occasions, and it's not fun. Let's go ahead and pan up into the sky, check the blues, and we're also going to aim at the sun. So let's see how that works out. And from what I could tell, the blues are holding strong, except for over there on the left-hand side of the screen. It's almost cartoonish like. And there's the sun. So I don't recommend you doing that personally. I'm a professional. I know what I'm doing. Now here's an interesting tree. Kind of looks like a crown. Okay, so this test is we're gonna test out how it handles going from shade, which we're currently in, and then we're gonna pan into sun. Not bad at all. Pine cones. One thing I will say about this camera, the screen. I have it in direct light, and with that being so, I could still see the picture. Now it's not as good as it would be if it was covered, but at least it's not washed out. And that's all I got to say about that. This next test we're going to do, try to do anyway, is see how fast the camera focuses from one object to another. Now this might not be a real good scientific test. I might try another later, but for now. So let's try. Not too bad. I think it's livable.